Welcome back to All About English podcast, where you learn to speak English confidently. I'm James, and with me is Grace. Have you noticed English? It's this giant puzzle, isn't it? Why do we have silent letters, irregular verbs, and words that sound exactly the same but mean completely different things?
Right? Like the other day, someone asked me why knife needs the K. And honestly, yeah, why does knife need the K?
Exactly. It drives us all nuts, even native speakers. And funny story, one time I was giving this pretty big presentation at work. A total nail-biter moment, right?
Oh no, what happened?
So there I am, super confident, explaining our quarterly projections. And then, right there on the slide, I'd written, "You're the best." Like your instead of your.
No, stop it. That's the worst.
Yeah, and of course, someone in the back called me out. "James, I think you meant your as in you are." It threw me so much that I forgot my next point.
Honestly, that's terrifying. But also, let's be real, we've all been there. I actually have one. Probably worse than that.
Worse than spelling "you're wrong" in front of your boss? Let's hear it.
Okay, so back in high school, I was learning French, which I'm terrible at, by the way. And there's this day when the teacher asked me to say, "I'm hungry."
Oh no, I feel like I know where this is going.
Yeah, instead of saying, "J'ai faim," I go, "Je suis pleine." And the teacher just stares at me in horror.
Wait, I need a second. I'm pregnant, isn't it?
Exactly. I wanted to disappear. And the worst part? Nobody corrected me until after class, so about 30 kids in that room thought I was just randomly announcing pregnancy during French.
Language learning is emotionally taxing sometimes, isn't it? One slip up like that and your brain freezes up.
Totally. And, it's perfectionism that gets in the way for most people. You're so focused on not messing up that you end up messing up anyway.
It's such a paradox, but it's also kind of the charm of learning too, which brings us back to English.
Where the rules don't always make sense. Like, let's do a logic test. Why is it read and read, but the past and present tenses are different? Are we time traveling or what?
Oh, don't even get me started on why the plural of mouse is mice, but the plural of house is not heis.
Heis. Haha, I can't even. See, this is why English feels like a comedy skit sometimes. Speaking of English feeling like a comedy skit, let's talk punctuation. Like one tiny mark can totally alter a sentence. Take this. I like to cook my family and my dog.
Oh my gosh, that's dark. You meant, I like to cook my family and my dog, right?
Exactly. See? A comma literally saves lives. Whoever came up with the term serial comma, yeah, they were onto something.
But it's not just punctuation, right? Sometimes it's the words themselves, like mix up bored and boring, and you're suddenly delivering a major self-burn.
Oh, I have a cringeworthy story about that. Listen to this. First date, I'm trying to be all cute and say, "I'm bored." But nope, I accidentally say, "I'm boring."
No way. What was the reaction?
He just awkwardly sipped his drink, and I swear I wanted to crawl under the table. Safe to say, no second date.
Whew, that's tough. But hey, at least that one's just, mildly humiliating. Want to hear one that's a solid 10 on the embarrassment scale?
Oh, please. It make me feel better about my life choices.
So, a friend of mine was learning English and wanted to say, "I'm excited for the concert." But what came out? "I'm aroused."
Stop it. No, that did not just happen.
It did. And the room went completely silent. Like everyone was wildly uncomfortable, except the poor guy didn't even realize what he'd said.
See, that right there is the danger of false friends. Words that look like they should mean the same thing, but then, bam, you're saying something totally inappropriate.
Absolutely. It's not just aroused either. Spanish speakers, for instance, might say, "I'm constipated," when they mean to say, "I'm congested."
Right. And then suddenly, everyone's giving you laxative recommendations instead of tissues.
Exactly. And that's why connotations matter just as much as dictionary meanings. Otherwise, you're one word away from unintentional comedy gold or disaster.
So, after all these laugh-out-loud disasters, here's a thought. What if we stopped cringing and started owning these mistakes? I mean, they're comedy gold, right?
Go on, you're saying mistakes can actually be helpful?
Exactly. I mean, think about it. Every time you mess up, you're unlocking a new level of English fluency. It's like leveling up in a video game.
Right. But the problem is that most people treat mistakes like a game over instead of just hitting retry.
That's it. And let me tell you, some mistakes are just so ridiculous, you can't help but laugh. Speaking of, Remember the listener who emailed about accidentally saying preservative instead of reserved?
Oh yeah, instead of describing their date as reserved, they called him a preservative.
Like a jar of jam.
Exactly, but I think we should keep sharing these stories. Not just for laughs, but to show everyone it's normal.
Totally. In fact, I have a challenge for our listeners. We want to hear your most embarrassing language blunders. Comment below, and we'll share some of them in a future episode.
That's brilliant. What can we call it? My most embarrassing English moment.
Exactly. Plus, we'll crown a mistake of the week. Who doesn't want that kind of glory?
That said, the whole point here is mistakes aren't just funny. They're how you learn. The more you lean into them, the better you'll get.
Yes, and let's be real. If you're not willing to sound silly, you're not learning fast enough. Language is messy, and that's part of the fun.
Exactly. So embrace the awkward moments. They're stepping stones to fluency.
I'm still cracking up over some of the hilarious examples we talked about, especially the preservative one. And seriously, I hope our listeners are ready to join in and share their own blunders.
Same here. I mean, who knew that one wrong word could completely derail a conversation? Or a date, for that matter.
Don't remind me of the boring fiasco, okay? But seriously, it's like we said earlier, English mistakes aren't just funny. They're painfully relatable.
Absolutely, and it's not just the grammar or the connotations. Sometimes it's all about timing, like forgetting that tiny comma.
I like to cook my family and my dog.
Grace.
What? It's true. And let's not forget the infamous I'm aroused instead of I'm excited.
Oh, that poor guy. Can you imagine realizing that after the fact?
Would you even want to? Honestly, some words should just come with a giant warning label. Use with caution or risk humiliation.
Right. Or my favorite mix-up, turning a casual conversation into food preservation by calling someone preservative.
Still can't believe they went there. How do you recover from comparing your date to a jar of jam?
You probably don't, but that's the beauty of language learning. It keeps us humble.
And entertained. Let's be real, who doesn't love a good facepalm-worthy mistake? It's the ultimate icebreaker.
Or a cautionary tale, depending on how you look at it. But all jokes aside, today's real takeaway is simple. Embracing mistakes is the fastest way to learn.
Exactly. If you're not messing up, you're not trying hard enough. And honestly, that's kind of the charm of it all. Wow, I don't know about you, but my cheeks still hurt from laughing at all those ridiculous language blunders. Seriously, who knew words could be this dangerous and this funny?
Same here. This has got to be one of my favorite episodes yet. There's just something so human about these language blunders, isn't there?
Totally. It's no matter where you're from or how fluent you are, at some point, English just betrays you.
But that's also what makes it fun, right? Every mistake is just another not-so-gentle reminder that learning is messy, unpredictable, and completely worth it.
Exactly. And honestly, if your biggest problem is mixing up your and your, I'd say you're doing pretty great in life.
Absolutely, and hey, we'd love to hear about your language learning adventures or misadventures. Share your most cringeworthy English mistakes with us. Seriously, we're all ears.
Yeah, and who knows? Your story might just make it into our Mistake of the Week segment. Instant fame, right?
For sure, and remember, no matter how big or small the mix-up, you're taking a step forward every time you stumble.
Yes, so keep speaking, keep learning, and keep laughing at yourself along the way.
On that note, we'll see you all next time. Thanks for listening and happy learning.
Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, comment, and let us know what you want to learn next. Bye for now. See you next time.